You think you're taking care of yourself. You sit down in your kitchen, maybe it's early in the morning or just before bed. You pour a warm cup of tea, something gentle like chamomile or mint. Or maybe you drink a glass of milk because someone once told you it coats the stomach. It feels calming, familiar. You believe it's the kind of thing that brings relief, that eases your digestion, helps you sleep. But what if I told you that this habit, this soothing ritual you trust, is quietly setting your body on fire from the inside? Because what nobody warned you is that some of the drinks people believe are healing are actually making your reflux worse. And not by a little. They're triggering a reaction deep in your digestive system that invites acid to rise exactly when it shouldn't. These drinks don't calm your stomach. They relax something inside of you that's not supposed to relax. A small but powerful muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter. Its job is to keep the contents of your stomach where they belong. But when it weakens or opens too often, acid escapes. It climbs back up your throat. And once it does, it doesn't just burn, it damages, it scars. It silences your ability to sleep, speak, and even breathe comfortably. You don't feel it right away. That's what makes it so dangerous. That warm mint tea, that glass of milk, they don't scream danger. They don't cause pain instantly, but little by little, they undo your defenses. And that quiet damage begins to build up, night after night. You're not feeling better. You're being deceived by the illusion of comfort. And while you close your eyes thinking you've made a gentle choice, your esophagus is under attack. This is especially true for older adults. Maybe you're in your 60s, 70s, maybe beyond. Your body changes. You digest slower. Your stomach becomes more sensitive. And your habits become more deeply rooted. Drinking something warm before bed may be something you've done for decades. Maybe it helps you feel safe. Maybe it's something your parents did. But when reflux enters the picture, the rules change. The body you're living in is no longer the same. What once helped now harms. And the worst part? No one told you. They just kept saying things like, drink milk for heartburn or herbal tea is good for digestion. And you believed it because you wanted to believe it. But belief doesn't stop acid from rising. It doesn't protect your throat when that burning creeps up in the middle of the night. Let's talk about milk. It feels creamy. It feels soothing. But the fat in milk, even low fat, can trigger the exact muscle to relax that should stay closed. And that's not all. When you lie down shortly after drinking it, gravity stops working in your favor. The contents of your stomach are no longer pushed downward. They float, they bubble, they find their way up. That creamy comfort you relied on is now a ticking time bomb in your chest. And herbal teas? They have a reputation for being gentle, healing, safe. But many of them, especially mint-based ones like peppermint and spearmint, are known to relax the esophageal sphincter. Exactly what people with reflux should avoid. You're not sipping safety, you're sipping sabotage. You're handing over control of your digestion to a muscle that's already struggling. And the result isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's just a cough that won't go away, a lump in the throat you can't clear, a hoarse voice, a bitter taste, a restless night where you wake up choking on acid. It doesn't always start with fire. Sometimes it starts with silence. And silence is dangerous. Because silent reflux, the kind that creeps in without classic heartburn, is one of the most overlooked causes of long-term damage in older adults. It doesn't feel like the fiery chest pain you expect. It feels like fatigue, sore throats, tightness, the sensation of mucus that never leaves. And while you're treating these symptoms with lozenges or humidifiers or allergy pills, the real cause is sitting quietly in your stomach, waiting, rising, burning. This is where the fear begins to settle. Because it's not about one bad choice, it's about repetition, about habits so familiar they feel like home. But home is not supposed to hurt you. And yet these nightly or morning routines are causing pain you've normalized. You think aging is supposed to feel like this, but it's not. That deep discomfort, that endless cycle of trial and error, of avoiding foods, of chasing relief, it often begins with something as simple as what you drink when you think you're helping yourself. It's a cruel trick. You're trying to be healthy. You're doing what you thought was right. But your body, especially now, needs new rules. It needs protection, boundaries, awareness. And that begins by recognizing that not everything labeled as natural or gentle is safe for you. Not now. Not with reflux. Not with inflammation. Not with a body that's asking you, begging you, to stop adding fuel to the fire. The tragedy is that nobody talks about this. Doctors don't always explain it. Commercials don't warn you. And so people keep repeating the same cycle. Sipping poison dressed as peace, swallowing acid while thinking they're drinking health. And every night it continues, the damage grows. Until one day the cough becomes chronic, the voice becomes raspy, the sleep becomes broken, and the silence becomes permanent. But now you know, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The warm liquid, the comforting ritual, the soft flavor, all of it comes with a cost you can't afford to keep paying, especially not when the next habit could be even worse. Because this isn't just about what you drink, it's also about what you eat. And sometimes, the most dangerous thing for your reflux is what's waiting for you at the very start of your day. If you've ever struggled with reflux and realized now that some of your daily habits might be making it worse, share your experience in the comments. Your story could help someone else. And if this video brought you clarity or comfort, don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this. It starts with the morning, that quiet moment when the world hasn't fully awakened and you're looking for something to ground you. You go to the kitchen, maybe a little stiff, maybe still carrying the weight of a rough night. You're not asking for much, just a warm drink, a simple breakfast, something to put your day in motion. So you do what you've always done. You make toast, maybe with margarine. You pour a cup of strong coffee. You sit down and tell yourself this is a good start, familiar, safe. But what if that quiet routine is the reason your body feels worse as the day goes on? Because here's what nobody ever said out loud. That breakfast you've trusted for decades might be the trigger behind your burning chest, your constant throat clearing, your uncomfortable bloating. It doesn't look harmful. It doesn't feel violent. But hidden inside that plate is a perfect storm. And for someone with reflux, it's not just unhealthy. It's destructive. Let's break it down. Bread, that soft white slice that practically melts in your mouth. It's made with refined flour stripped of fiber, nutrients, and structure. It turns to sugar fast and triggers insulin responses that affect your entire digestive tract. But more than that, white bread expands in the stomach, slowing down digestion and creating pressure. Pressure that pushes against the weakened valve in your lower esophagus, the same valve that's supposed to keep stomach acid in its place. Then comes margarine. That yellow spread people started using because they were told it was healthier than butter. But margarine is filled with hydrogenated oils and artificial fats that your body doesn't recognize. Fats that take longer to digest. Fats that linger in your stomach and demand more acid to break them down. And while that acid builds up, your body tries to keep up. It pushes, it stirs, and when the acid has nowhere to go, it rises. Now, picture this. That same morning, before you've had any food, you take a sip of coffee. Black, strong, maybe even on an empty stomach. It wakes you up, but it also wakes something else up. Caffeine is a known acid stimulant. It tells your stomach to produce more acid. It relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter. It triggers contractions and speeds up the emptying of the stomach in ways that are chaotic for someone with a sensitive digestive system. And that's just one cup. Maybe you've done this every day for the last 10, 20, 30 years. Maybe it's how your parents started their day. Maybe you thought skipping breakfast was worse than eating a small one. But the damage isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. A dry cough after breakfast, a bitter taste halfway through the morning, that sensation of food sticking in your throat. You ignore it, you move on, but it keeps happening. And every time it does, it chips away at your body's ability to protect itself. There's also the timing. You might not even be hungry when you eat. You just do it because you're supposed to. But when you force food into a stomach that hasn't fully woken up, especially if you've gone more than 10 or 12 hours without eating, your digestive system struggles. Your acid levels spike, the balance is off, and instead of energizing you, that meal turns into a weight that drags you down. Even healthy-looking breakfasts can be misleading. A bowl of granola with fruit, a smoothie packed with acidic fruits like oranges, strawberries, or pineapple, a glass of juice. All of them sound like smart choices, but they are often filled with hidden sugars and acids that inflame the gut. That fresh orange juice? It's one of the most acidic drinks you can consume first thing in the morning. And for someone dealing with reflux, it's like pouring acid on a wound. You're not being careless. You're following routines that were handed down to you. You're trusting advice from decades ago that never considered how reflux operates. The stomach doesn't need help becoming more acidic. It's already a powerhouse of acid. What it needs is balance, time, neutrality. But the modern breakfast is an acid bomb wrapped in a napkin and served with a smile. The worst part is how normalized it all is. People will tell you that discomfort in the morning is just part of getting older. That maybe it's just nerves, or stress, or that you're just eating too fast. And sure, those things matter. But what really matters is the chemistry of what goes into your body when it's most vulnerable. You're waking up your digestive system by hitting it with processed carbs, artificial fats, and caffeine. Not only does it spark a fire, it teaches your body to expect that fire every day. It becomes your new normal, but pain should never be normal. You might notice that you feel full too quickly, that you burp more than usual, that you can't lie down after eating, or you'll feel it crawling back up. That's not aging. That's inflammation. That's pressure. That's your body begging for a change. And the first place to look is not the pills in your cabinet. It's the plate in your hands every morning. There is a better way to start your day. One that doesn't make you afraid of food. One that doesn't feel like a punishment. But it begins with honesty, with breaking the illusion that breakfast has to be fast, sweet, greasy, or loaded with caffeine to be good. You deserve mornings that heal you, not hurt you, and you can have them. But first, you have to stop feeding the fire before the sun is even fully up. The rituals that seem comforting may be the very ones unraveling your health from the inside out. And what's most alarming is how long it can go unnoticed, because your body will try to adapt. It will carry the discomfort quietly, until one day it doesn't. Until one day it speaks through fatigue, through pain, through symptoms you never saw coming. And by then, you won't just be fighting reflux. You'll be fighting years of habits that felt harmless, but were never meant for a body in distress. Let me know in the comments which of these habits surprised you the most. Sometimes just one small change can make all the difference. And if you're on a journey to feel better, make sure to subscribe so we can walk through it together. At the end of a long day, your body craves rest. You look forward to finally settling in, escaping the noise of the world, and giving your system a chance to breathe. Dinner is behind you. The lights are dim. Maybe the television is on. You feel comforted by the routine. And as sleep calls you, you lie down, hoping for a peaceful night. But something begins to shift. A strange weight in your chest, a sudden tightness in your throat, a sour taste that creeps into your mouth. You try to ignore it. You shift positions. You tell yourself it's nothing. But deep down, you know it's the same enemy that has haunted you for years. And this time, it came back stronger. It's not your imagination. It's reflux. And nighttime is when it strikes the hardest. Because when you lie down after eating, your body's natural defenses against acid reflux are weakened. Gravity no longer helps to keep the contents of your stomach in place. The food, the acids, the gases, all of it sits heavy inside you, pressing upward against the valve that's supposed to stay shut. But that valve is tired, weakened, maybe from age, maybe from years of silent inflammation, and when it gives way, even a little, that acidic tide rises. Not because you ate too much, not because you did something wrong, but because lying flat at the wrong time turns your entire digestive system against you. Many people don't realize how fragile the nighttime hours are for the gut. While you sleep, your body enters a state of repair. Your organs slow down. Your breathing softens. Your temperature lowers. But digestion doesn't stop. If your stomach is still full, it keeps working, and the acid it produces begins to pool. Without the help of gravity, that acid doesn't stay where it should. It creeps up, slowly, quietly, and before you know it, it reaches your throat. This is when symptoms that seemed minor during the day become unbearable at night. That nagging cough, that burning behind your breastbone, the hoarseness in your voice when you wake up, the strange sensation of choking or gasping in the middle of the night. You may have been told it's allergies or asthma or even anxiety, but in reality, it's often a direct result of acid reflux, taking advantage of your most vulnerable hours. Even something as simple as a late-night snack can trigger a chain reaction. Maybe you thought a banana with a little peanut butter was a light, harmless treat. Or maybe it was a glass of warm milk. But both of these foods can sit heavily in the stomach, especially close to bedtime. Bananas can ferment. Milk, especially whole milk, increases acid production. And if you eat within 2 hours of lying down, your stomach hasn't had time to do its job. It's still full, still active, still acidic. Some people try to fix the problem by elevating their pillows, thinking a little incline will help. But regular pillows only lift your head. They do nothing for your torso. And that slight angle can even make the problem worse, causing your body to curl and increase pressure on your stomach. What you actually need is a full upper body incline, something that keeps the acid from flowing back. But even then, if you're still eating too close to bedtime, even the best posture won't save you. And then there's silent reflux. The kind that doesn't come with classic symptoms like heartburn or a burning throat. It hides behind other issues. A chronic cough that no medication seems to fix. Constant throat clearing that never fully relieves. Waking up with a dry mouth or a sore throat, even if you didn't talk much the day before. Feeling out of breath when lying down, as if your lungs are working harder than they should. These are all signs that your reflux is not just present. It's active while you sleep. The scariest part is how long this can go unnoticed. People live for years thinking their sleep problems are psychological, that their sore throat is from talking too much, that their voice is changing because of age. But behind it all, reflux is working in silence. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't always burn, but it erodes, day after day, night after night, until one day, your esophagus is inflamed, your vocal cords are damaged, your sleep is broken beyond repair, and you're left wondering when it all started. Your nighttime habits matter more than you think. Not just what you eat, but when you eat, how you lie down, what you drink. Even the tightness of your clothes can impact the pressure on your digestive system. If you're going to bed wearing something that squeezes your abdomen, you're increasing the chances of acid pushing back up. If you're sleeping flat on your back or right side, you're making it easier for acid to travel. The left side is the safest, the most neutral, the position that supports your body's natural flow and gravity. It might feel overwhelming to change these habits, especially if they've been part of your routine for years. You might wonder if it's really worth it. But then you remember that night you woke up choking, that burning feeling that took hours to go away. That exhaustion that no amount of sleep could fix. This isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about protecting your organs, preserving your quality of life, allowing your body to heal when it's meant to rest. Imagine what it would feel like to wake up refreshed, to breathe deeply without irritation, to speak without that hoarse edge in your voice. It's not just a dream, it's a possibility, but only if you start seeing your evening routine for what it truly is. Not a harmless ritual, but a critical window, a choice, a chance to either help your body or harm it. Because when you go to sleep, everything in your body should be moving toward recovery. Your heart, your brain, your gut. But reflux doesn't rest when you do. And if you keep feeding it with the wrong choices, night after night, it will eventually take more than just your sleep. It will take your energy, your comfort, and your peace. And all of it begins with what happens in the final hours of your day. Was there something in this video that hit close to home for you? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if this kind of content helps you feel understood and supported, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss the next video. It's not always the big things. Sometimes it's the little habits, the ones you barely notice, the ones that seem innocent. Chewing gum after a meal, sipping water during dinner, grabbing a handful of crackers between tasks. Small moments that make you feel in control, like you're doing something light, something smart, something your body will thank you for. But deep inside, your digestive system is screaming for help, because what feels harmless might be the very thing that's breaking you down from the inside out. Let's start with chewing gum. It seems simple enough. Pop one in your mouth to freshen your breath. Maybe it helps you focus. Maybe it keeps you from snacking. But here's what most people don't realize. The act of chewing sends a powerful signal to your brain. A signal that says, food is coming. Your body prepares. Saliva increases. Your stomach wakes up. Acid starts to flow. But no food arrives. There's nothing to digest. So where does all that acid go? It sits. It swirls. It builds pressure. And with no solid food to absorb it, that acid climbs right back up your esophagus. Quietly, persistently, until one day you notice that chewing gum makes you feel bloated, gassy, or strangely uncomfortable. And it gets worse if the gum contains artificial sweeteners. Ingredients like sorbitol and xylitol can ferment in your gut, feeding bad bacteria and creating gas. That gas adds pressure. That pressure pushes upward. And once again, your weakened lower esophageal sphincter becomes the victim. It opens. The acid escapes, and the cycle continues. What you thought was a light solution is now a daily trigger, and you didn't even know. Now think about how often you snack. Not full meals, just small bites. A cookie here, a cracker there, a piece of fruit between chores. This constant grazing might feel like a way to keep your energy stable, but in reality, it gives your stomach no time to rest. Every time you eat, your body goes through the process of digestion. It releases acid. It contracts. It moves. But when you're always feeding it, every hour, every moment, it never stops working. There's no pause, no reset, and eventually, that leads to acid overload. Your stomach becomes a machine that never shuts down. It overproduces. It overreacts. And when that pressure has no way out, it pushes upward. Again and again. This also creates a condition where food begins to ferment inside your gut, especially if your last meal hasn't been fully digested yet. That fermentation leads to gas. That gas pushes up on the stomach. And once more, the valve between your stomach and esophagus opens under pressure. You don't feel it immediately. Maybe just a small burp, a tightness in your chest, a little hiccup. But over time, it becomes something bigger, something chronic, something painful. Now let's talk about water. It sounds ridiculous, right? How could water hurt you? Isn't water life? Isn't it healing? Yes, but not during meals. Drinking large amounts of water or other liquids while eating dilutes your digestive enzymes. That means your food doesn't break down properly. It sits longer. It ferments. It creates pressure. And the bloating that follows is not just uncomfortable, it's acidic. It presses against your stomach walls, making it easier for acid to rise. Even healthy meals can cause reflux if they're drowned in fluid. Soup with juice, pasta with soda, salads with iced tea. All of them can turn into an acidic cocktail when your stomach is overwhelmed with liquid and food at the same time. The solution isn't to stop drinking water, it's to time it better. Sip slowly throughout the day. Keep your body hydrated before and after meals, not during. Let your stomach do its job without being flooded, and give it the space to digest properly without being overloaded by constant chewing, snacking, and sipping. Even the clothes you wear can have an effect. Tight waistbands, belts that dig into your stomach, shapewear that compresses your core. They might make you look slimmer, but they're also increasing abdominal pressure. That pressure pushes everything upward, including acid. And if your sphincter is already weak or inflamed, it won't take much to open it. One big breath, one strong cough, one stretch after lunch. That's all it takes for reflux to rise, slowly, silently. And once again, you find yourself wondering why your chest feels tight, your breath feels shallow, and your stomach feels heavy. You don't need to live like this. You don't need to accept daily discomfort as your new normal. Reflux is not just about what you eat, it's about how you live. It's the rhythm of your day, the timing of your meals, the posture you hold, the small choices that add up over time. And the sooner you recognize the patterns, the sooner you can break free from them. You deserve a body that works with you, not against you. A stomach that calms, not burns. A throat that speaks clearly, not raspily. A life that isn't ruled by fear of food, or sleep, or silence. You've carried the pain for too long, hidden it, minimized it, accepted it as age, but it's not age. It's accumulation. It's a lifetime of habits that can still be unlearned. You are not too late. You are not too damaged. You are not beyond repair. Thank you for staying with me through this journey. I know it's not always easy to face the truth behind the things we do every day, but it's in this kind of honesty that healing begins. If this video helped you understand your symptoms better, or opened your eyes to habits you never questioned before, take a moment to reflect. And if you're ready for the next step, if you're ready to take control and truly protect your digestive health, make sure to watch the next video that's now on your screen. It might be the one that changes everything.